Hi everyone, this is a tutorial on how to get around xrefs and blocks in AutoCAD. What do you need to do? So I borrowed this drawing from someone, I don't want to say who in class, and this already has a drawing of a second bay. Now I know whose what it is. And it's not a block. As you can see, I can select individual items. This is all individual items. A door. Basically, in our room where we are, we have a wall here, and an elevation that is accompanying it. I just slightly changed how the elevation looks like, because what you need to export is elevation only between the two columns, right, up to a grid line. So let me show you what you need to do. On a drawing that you have like this, what you're going to do is you are going to export. Go under export, you'll find other formats here, and I already have some drawings here, so I'm gonna export this as, and now I need to name it in some other way. So I will start with the number second bay, west, ground, right? It is also possible that you will have second bay and then you export west and east together. So this is the name of my drawing. Now here's the part that you need to follow. It will say define new drawing or enter existing block. This is not a block, so you will press enter for define new drawing. And then in this particular case, it's quite important that you say that insertion base point is 0, 0, 0. So press enter to that one. Now I get to select the objects. So what I'm selecting are these lines, but not the columns or not the grid lines. So I'm going to select that, press enter, and it will disappear. If I do undo, just type U, and I'll come back, because I need it in this drawing just in case I need something. But you'll see that on my messy desktop I have a new drawing that appear. Here it is. This is the second bay west ground drawing that I just created by exporting this as a block. So I'll do the same thing but slightly different for the elevation. So I'm going to go under export, select other formats, make sure that I have selected block or DWG file, and then I'll name this second bay elevation. So in this case, the block again does not exist. These are all individual lines, and I'll press enter for define new drawing. Enter. Insertion base point in this particular case is going to be here, intersection of ground line and grid line here, and I get to now select all the objects. I'll use a window, select all of them, but not the grid line or the ground line, and press enter. It disappears. I go back into undo, so I have this drawing saved. So you will see as well that on my desktop I have a new one, second bay elevation. I created that drawing. So now I'm going to go into my starting drawing, the one that I've saved before anything else, that only has columns and grids. And in there I'm going to go under insert, attach, and I'm going to find, in this particular case I'm keeping it on my desktop, so I'm going to find second bay west ground, which is my block. You see here, I'm going to say open, and this is quite important. I will not select any of these, meaning scale is going to stay 1. I'm not going to stretch it any other way. Insertion point, it's going to be inserting it into this drawing 0, 0, 0 coordinate, and I'm not going to change rotation or the units. So I'm just going to say OK, and definitely I want to save it as attachment. I can do it as an overlay, but in this particular case I want to have an attachment. Let's say OK, and here it is. It popped up here. Right. So let me show you what else happened. If I go under layers, you'll see that in my drawing I have grids and columns, but suddenly there's this new folder that was not there before. It's called xref, and for xrefs I brought in 2 new layers that belong exclusively to the drawing that I just imported, a door and a wall, but they are part of second bay west ground drawing. And these are all the layers that I have. And unfortunately these 2 stay from my previous, something that I previously imported, and that recording failed, so disregard these. Okay, so you'll see that you will have this xref layer, xref folder, and some things will pop up. And when you look at this, you'll see that it's slightly darker than it was in the original drawing, and it's now a block. It's now a block, it's not a single object. If you double click on it, you can edit it as a reference, similar way as we edit it as a drawing, as a block. But keep in mind that this is going to be a block. So what is going to happen is you will go through everybody else's exports, second bay, third bay, fourth bay. You'll just say attach, 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 and it will populate this whole thing. But how is it going to work with elevations? It's going to work a little bit different. I have to create this drawing, which is an array of grid axes, right, that are 24 feet apart, and I will bring in the same way, attach, elevation, just call second bay elevation, this one. So here's my drawing, and insertion point, scale is going to stay 0, rotation is going to stay 0, insertion point are specified on the screen. Let me show you why. Because I have to pick intersection of axis with the ground line. That's what I selected. I could have selected 0, but it ends up being a little bit more complicated for production of a drawing. And then I also made a mistake. We'll see what mistake I made. If I go under layer, my current layer is grid layer. So when I imported this block, and I can type in list and select this, okay, F2 will show me. You'll see that I have a block reference, and it is in the layer A grid. It's not supposed to be there because the white lines became now grid lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, right click, go under properties, and under properties I will change the property for the layer, so this block will be inserted into a layer 0. So the special functions of layer 0, if you are creating blocks, you are creating them in layer 0. If you are importing xrefs, you are importing layer 0. And as you go along, you'll populate this with all these bays, and one by one you'll have all of them. So that's it. I wish you luck, and I see you on Thursday.